we begin with the extraordinary life of TotalBiscuit, John Bain. He was not merely a creator, he was an institution in the world of PC gaming criticism, earning the nickname, the Cynical Brit. He was, for many, the conscience of the gaming community. His personal life became a very public battleground in 2014, when he was diagnosed with bowel cancer. TotalBiscuit's transparency was profound. He used his platform not for pity, but to candidly document the grueling reality of chemotherapy, the physical degradation, and the immense emotional pressure it placed on his family. His struggle transcended simple content creation. It became a human drama, watched by millions. The cancer returned aggressively in 2018, escalating his battle into a terminal fight. He bravely announced his retirement, stating his time was running out. He passed away in May 2018 at the age of 33. The devastation was immense. The gaming world mourned not just a critic, but the loss of a voice that stood for truth and ethics. TotalBiscuit's death was a cruel reminder that even the most successful figures on the platform are ultimately vulnerable to the harsh realities of health and mortality. Dillon The Hacker represented the darker, more volatile side of early YouTube culture. His content was defined by relentless trolling, chaotic shock value, and provocative commentary, largely directed at the platform's biggest stars, notably PewDiePie. Dillon successfully built a strange, morbidly fascinated audience drawn in by his abrasive, confrontational persona. He thrived on the controversy he manufactured. However, the line between his aggressive online persona and his private life was dangerously blurred. Dillon was reportedly struggling with severe mental health issues and substance abuse, a private reality often overshadowed by his public antics. In July 2019, the chaos finally caught up to him. At the young age of 20, Dillon was found unresponsive, with his death later confirmed to be an accidental drug overdose. The tragedy lies in the devastating disconnect. A young man screaming for attention through digital rage was battling genuine, crippling despair in silence. His passing forced the YouTube community to confront the ethics of engaging with creators in obvious distress. Dillon's death stands as a sobering lesson on the psychological toll of adopting a toxic online persona and the real-world consequences of addiction. Yoteslaya was a foundational creator in the realm of FPS, first-person shooter gaming. Revered for his energetic and insightful commentary on titles like Borderlands and Destiny, his videos were characterized by their passionate delivery and the strong personal connection he fostered with his dedicated community. His presence felt constant and reliable. This sense of reliability was shattered in November 2014. While driving late at night in South Carolina, Yoteslaya was involved in a fatal high-speed traffic accident. The circumstances were catastrophic and instantly ended his life. The devastation was primarily driven by the brutal suddenness and finality of the event. Here was a creator at the peak of his career, actively communicating with his audience, only to be instantaneously removed from the world by a real-life tragedy. His story is a powerful, gut-wrenching reminder that fame does not grant immunity from common, devastating misfortune. The gaming world experienced a collective grief for a friend who was lost without warning. Monty Oum was not just a YouTuber, he was a pioneering artistic visionary whose work profoundly influenced the entire landscape of online animation. As the creator of RWB, he was celebrated for his ability to craft stunning, dynamic, and intricate combat choreography, setting a new standard for web series quality and attracting a massive, devoted global fan base to Rooster Teeth Productions. Oum's unstoppable creative drive was suddenly halted in January 2015. Following a routine medical procedure, Oum suffered a severe, debilitating allergic reaction that immediately put him into a coma. After a period of public, desperate hope from the community, he tragically passed away the following month at the age of 33. The devastation was felt far beyond the loss of a life. It was the abrupt loss of an engine of creativity. Monty Oum's death robbed the world of countless future artistic innovations and left his highly successful ongoing series RWBY at a crossroads. His story remains a testament to the unpredictable fragility of human health and the irreplaceable nature of genius. Gustav Elijah Orr, known as Lil Peep, carved out a dark, beautiful niche in music, fusing rap with emo and punk aesthetics. His work was deeply personal, with lyrics explicitly detailing his struggles with drug addiction, clinical depression, and suicidal ideation. His YouTube presence, featuring his moody, self-reflective music videos, quickly positioned him as the vulnerable, honest voice of a struggling generation. The themes in his music became a tragic reality in November 2017. While on tour, Lil Peep died from an accidental overdose of fentanyl and Xanax. He was just 21 years old. The devastation was amplified by the public knowledge of his struggles. His death felt less like a surprise and more like an agonizing fulfillment of his own prophecies. His passing launched a vital yet painful conversation about the role of the music industry in supporting or exploiting young, highly vulnerable artists. Lil Peep's life became a cautionary tale about the deadly reality of the opioid epidemic and the desperate need for mental health support. Corey Barrie was the face of relentless positivity and youthful exuberance in the vlogging sphere. His channel was a high-energy platform for pranks, challenges, and collaborations, forging a deeply personal connection with a huge audience that saw him as a symbol of fun-loving youth. The tragedy that struck Corey was steeped in cruel irony. In May 2020, on the night of his 25th birthday, Corey was involved in a devastating fatal car accident in Los Angeles. He was a passenger in the vehicle whose driver was later arrested on serious vehicular manslaughter charges. His death was devastating because it extinguished a bright light on the very day meant to celebrate his life and potential. The incident served as a stark, horrifying lesson for his young demographic about the immediate, unforgiving consequences of reckless, impaired driving. His passing was not just a loss for his family, but a gut-wrenching end to a life shared so openly and joyfully. Narayan Reddy, the kind soul behind Grandpa Kitchen, achieved global recognition not through controversy or stunts, but through selfless charity. Operating from rural India, his channel specialized in cooking massive, often complex meals outdoors, which he then distributed to orphans and the less fortunate in his local community. His gentle demeanor and his profound acts of kindness earned him a massive, dedicated international following that transcended language barriers. The devastation following Grandpa Kitchen's death in October 2019 was unique in its sorrow. He passed away due to illness following an accident. The grief was universal because it was the loss of a symbol of pure, unadulterated goodness. His final videos, showing him weakened by his illness but still determined to cook for others, were profoundly heartbreaking. His legacy stands as a powerful testament to the good that YouTube fame can inspire, reminding the world that the simplest acts of global kindness are often the most devastating to lose. Steve Cash was the creative genius behind the viral success of Talking Kitty Cat, a comedy series featuring his famously expressive cat Sylvester, whose voice Cash dubbed to hilarious, relatable effect. His content was a source of lighthearted, family-friendly fun for hundreds of millions of viewers worldwide. Yet, like many creators, the immense joy he brought to the world did not reflect his private reality. Cash was known to openly struggle with severe, crippling depression and mental health issues. In April 2020, the community was shattered by the news that Steve Cash had tragically died by suicide at the age of 40. The devastating disparity between the uplifting comedic relief he provided and the intense personal darkness he endured privately struck a chord of collective guilt and sorrow. His passing added another painful chapter to the ongoing mental health crisis conversation, proving that even those who can conjure immense laughter and light are deeply vulnerable to despair. Paul, known online as Mitten Squad, was a beloved figure in the RPG and challenge running scene, gaining fame for his absurdly difficult, self-imposed challenges in games like Fallout. His content was characterized by rigorous editing, deadpan humor, and an unwavering commitment to seeing through the most impossible gaming tasks. The community was rocked in early 2024 by the news of his passing. Details regarding his death have been kept largely private, fueling a wave of sadness and speculation. The devastation was rooted in the sudden, mysterious end of a highly active and respected creative voice. It forced fans to confront the reality that some struggles are simply too private for public consumption. Mitten Squad's life became a stark reminder of the respect owed to creators' private lives, even when their public presence vanishes. Without warning, Nicole Thea was a vibrant, rapidly ascending beauty and lifestyle vlogger from the UK. Her channel soared in popularity as she openly, joyfully, and beautifully documented her journey through pregnancy, sharing her anticipation of motherhood with her partner, Global Boga. Her content was a celebration of future life and shared happiness. In July 2020, the anticipation turned to unspeakable tragedy. At the age of 24, Nicole Thea passed away, along with her unborn son, Rain. The cause was later determined to be a massive hemorrhage, bleeding, resulting from a sudden medical event. The devastation was profound. The loss of 2 lives, a young mother and the child she was preparing to welcome. It was the crushing end to a future that had been shared with millions who had invested their hope and joy in her journey. Nicole Thea's story remains a heartbreaking testament to the unpredictable and severe risks associated with seemingly normal, healthy pregnancies. The stories of these 10 creators, from the critical TotalBiscuit to the tragically hopeful Nicole Thea, are woven into the very fabric of internet history. They remind us that the spotlight is both a blessing and a burden.